What's up, Fever Nation? Marvelous comeback. Phenomenal comeback. Great team play. Great team cohesiveness in critical points of the game. Prayers up for Sophie Cunningham. Sophie, we hope you're going to be okay. It was just a hyperextension. We hope that's all it is and nothing more. In Jesus' name. Great game by the Fever. Great game by the players in spite of. I had another video lined up, but I don't want to allow I don't want to allow Coach White's coaching ability to overshadow what we all just witnessed. One thing should be obvious to fans, Fever fans, is this team plays with a different energy when Lexi Hull is on the floor. Every time Lexi Hull starts on the bench, the team starts the game slow. I'm not putting anything on our new point guard, Odyssey Sims, who also had a great game. Great in terms of being able to contribute to this effort, to this win, in the way she did after being with the team for only 2 games or 2.5 games. Stephanie White, it should be clear that Lexi Hull should be in your starting lineup. It is a shame that it took a player going down during this game for you to realize that moving forward for the rest and the remainder of the season. You have got to put the players on the floor that began this season when Clark was out the first 2 periods, that she was out. You need to go back to that lineup. Those teams started games fast. They didn't score 9 points in the first quarter. They didn't score 11 points total in the first quarter. You need more productivity from your starters in the beginning of the game. When you don't have, like in this case, you started out with the big 2, the Boss and Special K, and they didn't really get enough touches to get the team into a rhythm where they needed to be effective in the game. Now, because of their professionalism, they hung in there. As you say, they were resilient. They played through the in spite of moments during this game to get the team back into this game and turn this, what seemed to be a blowout, a laugher, to a 6 in 2018 into a win. The Fever does not need to be down against teams like this heading into the playoffs. You're going to have some good teams that you're going to play coming up, and you won't have the luxury of these teams having trips down the floor that gives you all opportunities to overcome a 20-plus point lead deficit. Did you notice who was not in the game defensively down the stretch when it mattered the most? I love Damaris Dantas. I love her game. I love the veteran leadership she brings to the team. And in games where she is not scoring consistently from the field, it becomes a liability to the team, because as you see, as we all witnessed, she gave up a lot of layups. People just drove around her easily to the basket, and that's not Dantas' fault. That's on you, Stephanie, for putting her in that situation to not be successful. You keep going to the bench, especially when you're down, and you bring Dantas off the bench first for scoring. I get that part. But if she's not scoring, I wouldn't want to put her in there, and then if she's not scoring, yank her. I would start with Bibby. Go to Bibby first off the bench. Try to get the team back into the game with her scoring ability. At least Bibby gives you more defensive capability. You have to know this, Coach White. We can't be the only ones at home seeing this. You're with these players every day, almost. You're with them in practices. Do you not know your team? Coach White, you have to know these players. I saw you hug Kelsey Mitchell coming off the floor. That was the first moment of, I don't know how I want to say this. That was the first time I actually saw you show love to your teammates. Maybe you've done it more often than the camera catches, but that was the first time I actually seen you express any kind of love toward your roster and your especially your key players, your big 3, your big 4. You need to show all them love like that. These are the players that make you look good. To those subscribers, in a couple of videos ago, I had mentioned about Kelsey going like 0 for 20 in a game, I would want her to still shoot. And a lot of people in the comment section said, oh man, you lost me on that one. You got to live with a shooter of this ability. That's like Steph. You got to live with it when they have off games and when they have on games. You can't be just satisfied with just the on games. I know you want them to hit every shot, but they're going to have games when they're not hitting shots. And the last thing you want to do to a shooter is to tell them to not shoot the ball. Do you know how detrimental that is? That's like telling Van Gogh not to paint because he missed a stroke on a brush or a paint on a canvas or something of that nature. You know where I'm trying to go with this. She carried the team in spite of what happened in the first half. I thought that they were cooked after the first half. I thought this team was cooked. But like most Fever Nation, we hang in there to the very end. We do not give up on this team, even if it is apparent they're about to take an L. That's what Fever Nation is about. And that's how Kelsey Mitchell played. I call her Special K. I ain't pushing for no endorsement from Kellogg or nothing like that, but I think there might be something in the makings there if they can put something together. I didn't want to overshadow this video talking about Coach White in the wake of the performance of Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston, and especially Lexi Hull, Odyssey Sims, KK, Bree Turner, Natasha Howard, everybody that contributed to this win. Everybody's effort who came off that bench and gave up some quality minutes contributed to this win. Thank you. Coach, you got to be more adaptable. You got to put players in position to be successful. We don't need to be down 20 points in these games against bad teams. You're going to play good teams in the playoffs. That's how you need to start preparing this team mentally as they move forward.